A study reveals the precarious situation of British households compared to French and German ones, caused by a toxic combination, according to the authors. So current life in Britain is in a worrying state and there is no prospect of improvement. Over the past 2 decades, the prosperity of the British middle class has fallen significantly behind that of the middle classes in Germany and France. This is confirmed by a study published in London on Monday, prepared by the British think tank Resolution Foundation and the Centre for Economic Performance at the London School of Economics, the LSE. The analysis is based on the difference between annual incomes of typical households. According to these calculations, the difference for an average household in Great Britain is around £8,300 for the equivalent of around €9,700 compared to German and French households. The researchers in the study confirmed that Great Britain has experienced 15 years of economic stagnation, which has led to income losses of £10,700 for average earners. They point out that income inequality in Britain is greater than in any other major country in Europe. For low-income households in particular, their standard of living is more than a third lower than in Germany and France. The authors of the study attribute this development to a chronic weakness in productivity and investment, as well as increasing social inequality in Great Britain. The 300-page study describes the situation as a toxic combination of slow growth and high inequality, which was already leading to falling living standards for low and middle-income Brits before the cost of living crisis. The impact of Brexit on Britain's international trade has further contributed to this economic weakness, according to the study. It notes that the UK has lost market share in all relevant markets, including the EU, US, Canada, and Japan. While Britain's trade share of gross domestic product has fallen 2.2 percentage points below pre-pandemic levels by 2023, the rest of the top 7 industrialized nations' trade ratios have improved by 0.5 percentage points. And these developments are a further setback for the Conservative government, which is already around 20 percentage points behind the Labour opposition in opinion polls. It was only in mid-November that Finance Minister or Chancellor of the Exchequer Jeremy Hunt announced during his budget speech that the British economy had turned the corner and that it was now time to cut taxes and boost growth. The Tories have been in power for 13 years, and it is likely that the next election will take place next year. The study shows that while Britain has great strengths, it is in relative decline. You can survive a year or two of low investment and stagnant wages, but 15 years of stagnation is a catastrophe. That was said by Thorsten Bell, head of the Resolution Foundation in London. And he's not alone with his diagnosis. Last week, Central Bank Chief Andrew Bailey also said that the current economic development in Great Britain was the worst he has experienced during his career. However, Finance Minister Hunt rejects these allegations and instead emphasizes Britain's strengths. When Elon Musk was here 3 weeks ago, he said that there were only 2 centers for artificial intelligence in the world, San Francisco and London, explained the Tory politician, referring to the Tesla boss's visit. Yeah, and remember the fanboy moment. He also points out that the UK technology sector is twice as big as Germany's and 3 times larger than France's. Hunt believes this innovative strength is why the UK has grown faster than Germany since 2010, and he stressed that it would be crucial to resolve productivity issues in order to realize the country's full potential. I doubt his numbers, by the way. According to the latest forecast from the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, that's the OECD, UK economic growth rates will remain almost flat this year and next, with increases of 0.5 and 0.7% respectively. However, the outlook for Germany is even worse, with a slight decline this year and a growth rate of just 0.6% in 24, according to the OECD. Yeah, if we keep that government, it will be worse than that, I think. The economic stimulus package announced by Finance Minister Hunt will do little to change the country's economic misery. According to estimates by the Independent Office for Budget Responsibility, the OBR, The mix of reforms and tax relief will only provide a tiny growth boost of 0.3%. The economists at the Resolution Foundation and the LSE see a U-turn only possible with more public investment. They claim that the OECD average is almost 50% higher than in the UK and are calling for the state to increase its investment to 3% of GDP. Tax increases are also necessary for this, but these should not only affect wage costs. And this task could fall to Keir Starmer. The Labour opposition leader and party leader admits that if he takes office, he will have a worse economic legacy than the Labour government did in the 1970s. Anyone expecting a new Labour government to quickly open all the money floodgates will be disappointed, warned Starmer. Instead, Labour must pay ruthless attention to budget discipline. The fact that he is inspired by the Tory icon Margaret Thatcher has already caused horror among many of his party colleagues. And if you want to know more, the next video is right in the end screen. I'll see you there. I'll be back.